It started with a silence so loud it cut through the clatter of silverware. Thanksgiving dinner, my family's annual performance of forced smiles and simmering resentment. I was carving the turkey when my sister, Elise, cleared her throat and said, $12 million? From that dusty little antique shop? The table froze. My father's fork clinked against his plate. My mother's wineglass hovered midair. They looked at me like I'd confessed to a crime. Elise's husband smirked, the kind of man who counts other people's money for sport. I set down the knife, slow and careful. "What about it?" She smiled, tight, triumphant. "You don't need that kind of money. You don't even live." She glanced at our parents. "I think we can all agree it would do more good if I took over. I have kids, a mortgage, a life." That word again, life. As if mine was something decorative, like the antiques I sold. I remember the laughter, the disbelief, the whispered accusations. By dessert, it was decided. They believed I owed her my success, as if my years of work, my late nights, my quiet victories were all family property. They had no idea what the money really was. Elise and I were close once. When we were kids, she'd steal my clothes, my friends, my ideas, and call it sharing. I never protested. I was the quiet one, the antique shop girl. She was the golden child, loud, beautiful, magnetic. When our parents nearly lost the house years ago, I was the one who paid the mortgage in secret. She took the credit. They thanked her. I said nothing. I always said nothing. But 3 years ago, I stopped being quiet. The shop was my world, dust, silence, and the hum of forgotten lives. I specialized in estate cleanouts. People sold me what they didn't understand: heirlooms, collections, paintings. I researched, restored, resold. Until one day, an old client passed away, Mr. Carmichael, an art dealer who treated me like the daughter he never had. He left me everything. I almost gave it up, out of guilt. But then I found the ledgers. Paintings worth millions, hidden through shell companies. All legal, just hidden well. I sold carefully, quietly, turned the money into legitimate investments. $12 million. Every cent earned clean, every cent mine. But Elise found out. Through a shared accountant, a careless email, a whispered rumor. And when she demanded what she deserved, I realized something. My family never wanted me. They wanted what I built. So I gave them exactly what they asked for. I started small, a trust fund for Elise, her idea, of course. I played along, pretended to transfer money into it. In reality, it was a separate holding account, one that mirrored hers but held different assets, decoys, shell portfolios, and a few legal landmines. I let her access it, watched her brag, watched her spend. Every penny she withdrew triggered taxable events and penalty fees. By the time she realized, the IRS was already asking questions. Then came the second act. My parents had co-signed a property loan years ago, Elise's lake house. I quietly bought the lien from the bank, paid cash, waited. Then, a month before her audit, I called it due. I remember the moment she understood. She showed up at my shop, shaking, mascara streaked, voice raw. "You ruined me!" I looked up from polishing a silver locket. "No, Elise, you did that yourself." Her eyes darted around the shop, those shelves of relics she once mocked. "Why? We're family." I smiled. "Family doesn't demand what isn't theirs." She screamed, cried, tried to bargain, told me our parents were furious, that I'd embarrassed them. I said nothing. I let her words ricochet off the glass cases and die in the dust. Finally, she spat. "You think this makes you better than us?" I met her gaze, calm, steady. "No, it just makes me free." The fallout was quiet but thorough. Elise declared bankruptcy within 3 months. My parents sold their house to cover her debts. They never asked me for help again. Now the shop is mine alone, peaceful, humming, heavy with old air and second chances. I still polish the locket from that night. Inside it, there's a tiny picture of Elise and me as children. I keep it to remind myself of the cost of silence. Because silence was my curse and my weapon. They called me the antique shop girl, the one who lived small, spoke soft, stayed out of the spotlight. They thought I didn't understand value, but I do. Value isn't what something costs, it's what it's worth. And now, when I count my money, or the peace that came with it, I know the truth. They wanted my fortune. They never realized they were it. And I finally sold them off.